Morning everyone. I'm already in the machine. We're gonna get to it. We're using a grapple bucket. I'm sure you remember not too long ago, probably a video or two ago, we trimmed off all these trees. Well, we gotta do something with them. We can't just leave them lay there because they'll be in the way for next year. So we're gonna go pile them all up in a few spots, and then either eventually we'll burn them or use them for firewood. We'll do something with them. But right now they need to be out of the areas that they're hindering grass from growing. And also we don't want them in the hayfield at all. So, best thing to do it is a skid steer. Yes, I did walk up there and it didn't really tear up the grass much. Just a few little spots like this, not a big deal. It's as simple as just kind of combing it back over. Not the end of the world. I did walk back through there though. All the chunks or even the smaller sticks that were left, I took them, like this one, and I threw them all over the fence like that. Mainly because that's not a hayfield. The only thing that we ever mow with over there is the brush hog, and the brush hog can handle some sticks without an issue. Whereas the mower conditioner, you know, depending on the stick it can, but it's still not good for it. You can see it that well. Those are all spikes going up that tree, and every one of them is hard enough to puncture even a tractor tire. I mean, they're incredibly strong. That is one of the things that I know I'm going to get some flat tires, not on the skid steer, but even on the tractor after we take all these down. So next year I'm still going to get probably a flat tire or something from this, but hopefully after that they'll be disintegrated enough that they can't puncture tires anymore. By cutting this tree down and getting rid of it, I bet I saved probably 15 or 20 tires easily. Like, they puncture tires that easily. They're not useful trees. Unless you're trying to keep people out. They might be useful then, but even then you're going to get flat tires from them.
these things are and how strong they are. These spikes from those Johnson trees, or from the locust trees. So I'll mark it right there. It went that far in to a skid steer tire, which skid steer tires, if you don't know, are incredibly thick and they're very strong. And that's how far it went in. That's a solid 1/4 inch, if not 3/8 of an inch. That's why I keep saying that those trees gotta go. As you probably saw at the end of the time lapse, night and day difference over here. Or let's go get this one. You'll see the same thing on the time lapse from it, I bet. Ta-da! All cleaned up, piled up right here in the low water area. Still got let's see here, so paddock 4, 3, 2, and 1 to clean up, but this is pretty much all they are, and they'll sit here until we're ready to light them. There's not a given, hey, you have to light them by this date or anything like that. Obviously on a day like today, I'm sure you can hear the wind and see the wind in the trees. Not the ideal time to light it. We're not in a drought by any means, but it's the end of summer and things are kind of dry. So no, I would not light anything right now. Plus they'll give these a chance to dry down more so that they'll burn off and not need diesel fuel or anything like that to get it going. I need to get ready and go to my appointment. I have physical therapy this afternoon and I gotta be there shortly. So I'll see you in a little bit. Good morning, everyone. Yes, you're right. We should be cleaning up branches. But Chrissy just called and she left her lunch at home. So I'm gonna be a good husband and make up for the past 15 years that she's been bringing my lunches when I forget them. I'm gonna make all those years up in one day. She's only forgot her lunch one time, so. Alright, we're back. Ready to enjoy the view of that flag. Well, I guess we'll be able to see some of it. Anyways, we're gonna go clean up the rest of these branches. Make the rest of these bonfire piles for the fall, which I don't think fall is far away. I know I'm in shorts and short sleeves, but it's actually a little chilly for it. Yeah, we'll probably put some hydraulic fluid in, yep, because we're empty. I've got an O-ring. I know you probably can't see in here very well. There's a hose that is in a very inconvenient spot that is leaking pretty good, and I'm gonna need to replace the O-ring. However, I have a bad feeling since it's a metal line, it's gonna be a real pain to line back up, and that's why I haven't taken it off yet, because I want to finish moving these branches first. That way I have some time, so it's inevitable. I'm gonna get aggravated with it. I'm gonna have to work on it for 20 minutes here or there until eventually I get it lined up right and I'm able to get it put back on with the new O-ring so it'll stop leaking. I'm just not ready for that headache yet. There we go. That should give us hopefully for the rest of the day. We shall see. And so it begins. I just drove the side-by-side out there yesterday just to show you guys what we did. Those locust trees. I'm not sure why God invented them. I'm sure he had a reason. I'm sure it was a good one. I just don't want anything more. Yeah, perfect. It's good for a tire. And look, it didn't even break it with me driving over it. It bent it a little bit, but it didn't snap it. Isn't that nuts? That. Got it. You couldn't tell. The morning was off to a slow start. I had to take Tootsie her lunch, which wasn't a big deal. Fill the skid steer back up with hydraulic fluid. Fix tires. We're gonna move branches eventually.